Hey guys, just want to make a video real quick on how to adjust the collets pretty much on any type of lathe. It's going to be different depending on what type of collet system you have on there. But if you have a collet chuck, this is going to be some basic knowledge that you're going to want to know. So when you get a new collet system on there, you have the body, you have the collet that goes inside, and then you have this collet sleeve. Now this collet sleeve is attached to the draw tube, which is attached to the actuators, right? So that actuates forward and back. But one thing that you need to know is that the position or the location of that collet sleeve is very important, because when I get the collet in there, and I put the collet nose on, or the collet cap, right? If I stick my finger there and pull it out, there's a lot of room in there for this to play around, right? So there's a lot of movement in there. What you want to do is you want to minimize that as much as possible. The way to do that is to adjust the position of that collet sleeve. So that collet sleeve threads onto the draw tube, so you can unthread it, by a couple turns or whatever you're allowed. Now when I say when you're allowed, because basically the collet sleeve is keyed to the outside of the body with a set screw, or not a set screw, but a bolt. So if I go ahead and take this out of there, we'll see a groove, or basically a keyway in the side of the collet sleeve. And if I rotate this out, that collet sleeve is going to move forward. All right, so now it's in a different location. And what I want to do is I want to put it as far forward so that when I put the collet and the collet sleeve and the collet cap back on, there is little to no play in there. The best case scenario is to where you put the bolts back on the collet sleeve, or the collet nose, right, the cap, and basically it's at the very last second that you're tightening that, it starts to compress that collet just a tiny bit, just puts a little bit of tension on it. That's the best case scenario. Now depending on who makes your collets and where you're getting it from, a lot of times you may not have 30 thousandths of open and closed strokes, so that's something to watch out for. You don't want to be compressing your collet a lot because it'll cause you other issues. But you want to make sure that there's no play in there. So I'm going to take this set screw out. I'm going to rotate this, probably 1 or 2 or 3 times, depending on what I need. I need about 118 thousandths. So I'll adjust that. And then I'll put the collet back in and the collet cap, and I'll make sure there's no play in there.